basketball whip.
Take over.
Well, Michael was saying to the media a few days before the series started that he was going to come out and shoot the ball every time he touched it. And Phil Jackson said, I hope he doesn't do that. He only wants Michael to do it when he needs those points.
Coming up on 6:45 to play in the first. The Bulls off to the quick start, 13-5 in lead. And a traveling violation on Ron Harper.
I like the fact that the Bulls are moving the ball offensively, something that they didn't do well at all in the New York series. Now, granted, the Knicks are going to grab and hold you a lot. Today, the ball movement is crisp, it's sharp, and it's early. Nobody's standing around watching Michael play.
Again, Lukley, the only man on Shaquille. And Hardaway fakes the screen, drive, and scores.
Well, right now, Scottie Pippen doing a good job out on the floor, pressuring Hardaway's handle. But once Penny gets a nice pass.
And Rodman missed the dunk. Jordan looking for a way around Nick Anderson. Instead, back to Harper.
Terrific defensive cutoff by Nick Anderson.
Longley. Luke Longley with 6 of the Bulls' 15 points.
Well, Luke knows he's always going to be open for that little kick-out pass. Shaq is not going to travel too far from the lane, so Luke will have that open 16, 17-footer all afternoon.
I'd drive the ball right at Shaq and then kick it out.
Rodman stepped into the lane to try to help. Bulls wanted to travel. It's 15-9.
When Luke Longley fronts, oh, beautiful pass.
And blocked from behind by Hardaway. Nick Anderson. Way long. Back comes Chicago.
Shaq had the lob. They missed him.
It looks like Chicago is trying to take advantage of the Magic's problems with transition defense. They were looking to run there. The Bulls looked a little bit winded. Luke Longley barely got into the front court.
Shot clock at 3. Pippen. And Longley with the rebound. Kicks it back outside, and Ron Harper will slow things down. We are under 5 minutes to play for the quarter. Rodman is there for the follow.
The Magic's inability to contain penetrators just opened up all kinds of opportunities for Longley and Rodman.
And O'Neal will go to the line to try for the three-point play. Let's go back to the other end.
Well, this is out of the triangle offense for Chicago. The little handoff to Scottie Pippen, who had to try to make the acrobatic shot because of Shaq's presence and changing the shot. But Horace Grant unable to get the body on Dennis Rodman.
Matt, 2 players for Orlando did nothing against Scottie except force a tough miss. The other 3 Orlando guys standing on the perimeter watching. Poor rotations.
Tony Kukoc off the Chicago bench and was ticketed to wear a back brace for that sore back, but we are told he's decided not to wear it so far this afternoon. Making his first appearance since Game 2 of the series against New York.
Well, Luke Longley gave them some offensive punch as Shaq can't get the free throw, but picking up those 2 fouls, and now Phil Jackson elects to go small.
But Orlando's right there. They're just down 6 points and have played as poorly as they can. Dennis Scott, poor defense away from the ball.
It'll be Bulls basketball. That's number 1 on Dennis Scott. Tony Kukoc in the throes of a horrible shooting slump. Kukoc just 1 for 24 from three-point range in the postseason.
Bulls playing a skill and precision game while Orlando still thinking power.
Rodman lost it in the middle. And now Hardaway.
That's exactly what Phil Jackson did not want.
There's the whistle before the shot. An illegal defense call against the Bulls.
Well, Dennis Rodman has had some success with playing Shaq. Even though Dennis only weighs about 218 pounds, he has a strong low base, able to push Shaq a little bit further out than he wants. No double team came there. If the double is going to come, it's going to come from the strong side of the floor, from the passer that enters into Shaq.
Mostly what Dennis Rodman has is a strong will. Put his body on the line against Shaq.
Three-pointer, no good. Kukoc with the rebound. Rodman just took a pretty good elbow in the mouth from Shaquille O'Neal. The Bulls with a 14-4 edge on the boards.
That just gets you going, Greg. A guy like Dennis Rodman looks forward to that. Terrific defense by Penny once again.
Hardaway with the steal on Jordan.
You can see how quickly the Chicago defenders come up on Dennis Scott in transition. They do not want to give him any kind of look at a three.
Hardaway on Pippen.
Like Chicago's fronting strategy defensively in the post.
Jordan comes away with it. To Kukoc. And foul by Nick Anderson, who wants an offensive foul. Let's go back to the other end of Dennis Rodman and the problems you have dealing with Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq is 7'2", Dennis about 6'6", 6'7". That elbow just comes right up. Chest tight. If Dennis wants to bite him in the elbow, that's his problem.
Penny Hardaway with the steal, and then Kukoc. And Nick Anderson wanted an offensive foul.
Well, actually, that whole play started with a missed Nick Anderson three-pointer from the left corner, resulted in a long rebound, and that's when Chicago really becomes dangerous. Michael Jordan in the middle of the floor, Penny Hardaway with a bad gamble at midcourt against Jordan, and this set up the two free throws for Kukoc.
Kukoc hits them both. Coming up on 3 minutes to play here in the first. The Bulls 19, Orlando 11.
Good to see Kukoc moving so freely and effortlessly. Those bad backs, they can take a long time to heal. Again, the front in the post.
Nice pass to Penny Hardaway, who went back door and got the stuff.
That's the pressure release there as the Magic are starting to read now as to how they're going to be played on the wing and how they're going to be played in post situations and making the nice pass.
Matt, when you get fronted, the postman has to move up and away from the basket to create more spacing.
Kukoc for three. And Rodman, rebound, trying to call timeout and got it. It is a 20-second timeout.
Awfully early in the game to be burning timeouts just for a solitary possession when you already have the lead.
Well, Tony Kukoc looked so anxious to get that shot out of his hand. You wouldn't believe it. He's 1 for 24 in the playoffs from beyond the arc.
We are now extended to a full timeout. We'll come back. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Result against very tough defense.
The weak side, they have to anticipate the delivery of that pass and release quicker. The Orlando guards shutting out the Bulls. Jordan with just one shot attempt.
Michael Jordan averages 23 a game during the regular season. 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. 2:26 to play here in the first.
Ahmad was relaying to us Michael's message about the ball movement, how they worked on that all week long in practice. Forget the dribbling, forget the standing around. Let's pass it and pass it quick.
Speaking of standing around, a bit too many people standing around on the sideline there. Scottie Pippen tries to inbound. Jordan. And there's a steal by Kukoc.
Very sloppy play by Orlando.
Brian Shaw into the game now for the Magic, as is John Concat.
And what Chicago's defense has done is just taken Orlando out of their game completely. Made them come away from the basket to receive the ball.
There's a reach-in foul. Let's go back to the steal under the basket after the Michael Jordan jumper.
Jordan hits the jumper on the inbounds pass, weak side screen. And then the inbounder, Brian Shaw, looks like, just has no clue that Tony Kukoc is sneaking up behind Horace Grant.
And Horace Grant, obviously bothered by that sore right elbow, does not even look like himself. He has been an absolute demon for the Magic throughout these playoffs, shooting 65% from the field in that last series, but he just cannot get involved in this ballgame.
Nick Anderson missed them both. Horace Grant, for the 9th consecutive year, shot better than 50% from the floor.
But he hasn't had a good look yet. There's been no penetration in dish. Everybody's staying home on Shaquille.
Harper to the far side. Jordan. Off the Winnington screen. Got the bucket on the foul. That's number number 1 on John Koncak.
Well, this was all set up by Michael making his last jump shot, and he has recognized no Shaquille O'Neal to clog up the lane and be a shot block threat, knowing that if he can get by Nick Anderson, he can create something in there, and he got the slap and hack.
If you're going to hack down, make sure the guy does not get a three-point play.
Into the game, Randy Brown for Chicago, wearing number 0. 60-year man out of New Mexico State. Jordan makes it a three-point play. 26-13. Bulls have doubled up Orlando as we come up on a minute and a half to play in the first.
See how Chicago's defense is making Orlando work so hard to get the ball even up the court.
Hardaway double-teamed in the far corner. Looking for a way around. Pippen spins and hits.
Wow, that's just a terrific play by Penny Hardaway, but he had to work so hard for it as the Magic having to resort to pounding the ball on the floor, going one-on-one.
Pippen fouled from behind by Shaw, and a nice pass from Tony Kukoc. Let's go back to Penny Hardaway.
But the amount of time that it took Penny Hardaway to get the ball initially and then finally get the shot off, how many dribbles with no double team. The Bulls, though, playing without the ball. The weak side cutters flashing in. The Magic standing around watching the ball. Bulls playing like they did during the regular season.
Well, the Magic offense is so geared to the post game, throwing it into Shaquille O'Neal. Most teams are going to double team, and that's how they get open shooting opportunities. Or post Hardaway and get the same thing. And with the Bulls, you see a completely different philosophy with the triangle offense. A lot of player movement, a lot of ball movement, much tougher to defend as far as moving your feet. Of course, when you're going to double team all the time against Orlando, that's a whole different story.
Scottie Pippen hits them both. The Bulls are 7 of 8 from the free throw line compared to just 1 out of 5 for the Magic.
Jordan at the bench with a 13-point lead. He's only got 5 points and 3 shots. Things couldn't be better for Phil Jackson.
Steve Kerr onto the floor and guarding Brian Shaw now for the Chicago Bulls. Nick Anderson. And Koncak threw it away. Kerr for Pippen.
Obviously, the few days rest has done wonders for Scottie Pippen's health.
10 for Pippen as we come up on the last half minute. The Bulls with their biggest lead of the day, 15 points.
Isolation one-on-one, now the two-man game.
And Kerr drew the foul.
Well, once the ball gets into the hands of John Koncak, a little bit of panic sets in as Nick Anderson gives it to Koncak. He just overreacts and threw it away as Tony Kukoc is really making his presence felt as a helper defensively.
Scottie Pippen finishing as few players in the history of this game have done. Of course, Dr.